On a cold winter night in Japan, as this mafia lord waits for an escort, his subordinate barges into the room to warn him of the high prevalence of a mysterious set of shadow assassins. But the Mafia ignores the warning, claiming that his army of ninja warriors are always around to save him. So, that night, as he happily listens to music from a geisha, a mysterious figure monitors him from the roof. As soon as the music ends, the Mafia removes his robe and tries to force himself on the geisha. But the mysterious figure shows up with a long sword and cuts off his head. The geisha screams in fright, alerting the unsuspecting ninjas. As they enter the room, they see their master beheaded. One of the ninjas questions the geisha, who points him in the direction of the mysterious figure. The ninja immediately fires several bullets, causing a cloud of smoke in the small room. Unknown to them, the mysterious assassin had jumped into their midst through the ceiling. The assassin begins to fight each of them with a sword, and despite their guns, the assassin ends up killing all of them. While the fight ensues, the geisha stands at a corner, fearfully watching as the assassin battles with the ninjas. As the two fight, the assassin suddenly picks up a gun and fires at the ninja, but he skillfully dodges it, causing the geisha to bear the brunt of it. Seeing the geisha collapse and die, the assassin becomes distracted, so the ninja uses the opportunity to fire several rounds, causing the assassin to collapse. With the assassin down, more ninjas run into the room to help, so the ninja leader drops his guard and approaches the assassin to remove their mask. But he's shocked to discover that the assassin is a woman. Suddenly, the lights in the room turn off, so the leader orders his fellow ninjas to check on the electricity. Meanwhile, outside the room, another masked assassin appears and begins to kill all the ninjas stationed outside. This assassin appears more skilled. She blows off a section of the house, killing the majority of the ninjas. Then, she removes her mask and approaches the inner to fight the leader of the ninjas. After an intense sword fight, she overpowers and throws him into the snow. He tries to crawl to safety, but she catches up with him and reveals that she was tasked with killing the entire Mafia clan. He tries to bargain with her, claiming that since his Mafia boss was dead, then her job was done. But she insists that if she lets him live, he will become the next Mafia boss and the clan will rise again. Upon hearing this, he picks up his sword and attempts to fight with her, but she beheads him in less than a second. Then, she places his sword next to his body and walks away. She returns to the inner room and wakes up her injured colleague. It turns out that the injured assassin's code name is 13, while the skilled assassin's name is Umbra. As they drive away, Umbra criticizes 13 for mistakenly killing the geisha, who is a civilian. She also points out that the ninjas had almost killed her, which could have jeopardized their mission. Hearing this, 13 grows tense, so Umbra hands her a drug, telling her to swallow it and rest up. As soon as they arrive at their destination, their manager walks over to the car to question Umbra on the success of their mission. But Umbra responds that 13 needs to be suspended in order to receive psych retraining. The manager agrees to this, but informs Umbra that she has to travel to Cambodia for a mission, while 13 undergoes her psych training in suspension. So, 13 flies alone to begin her suspension, while Umbra stays back to carry out her new mission in Cambodia. During the suspension period, 13 experiences severe nightmares and panic attacks, causing her to rely on pills constantly. Feeling bored, she tries to contact Umbra in order to get back into the assassination game, but Umbra advises her to stick to taking medication in order to recover fully. On her way home, she comes across her neighbors, Mongji and his mother, but ignores them. That night, while battling with insomnia, she hears some noise outside and goes to check it out. It turns out Mongji's mother works as an escort for a man named Haga, who's a human trafficker. As Haga assaults the mother in the corridor, Mongji tries to intervene to save her, but he's restrained by Haga's men. 13 watches this, but decides not to intervene. However, the next morning, as she leaves the house, she sees a crowd gathering in the corridor. It turns out that Mongji's mother was found dead in the house. Mongji tries to accompany his mother to the mortuary, but a police detective stops and warns him against it. Seeing this, 13 stares intently at him, and when he notices the weird stare, he tries to walk up to her, but she disappears in front of his eyes. Meanwhile, 13 grows frustrated waiting for a response from Umbra. So, while quietly staring at her dinner, Mongji suddenly approaches and asks to share the food with her. While sitting together, she consoles him for the death of his mother. So he explains that his mother was an addict and that her death was inevitable. Hearing this, she asks about the men who were assaulting his mother the previous night, so he yells at her to shut up and stop inquiring about his life. But after some time, he breaks down in tears and reveals that Haga had killed his mother and covered it up as a drug overdose. Seeing him in tears, 13 volunteers take him to his mother's grave. At the cemetery, they spend time talking, eventually forming a bond with each other. In the following days, 13 experiences nightmares and grows restless. However, she refuses to take her medication. One morning after taking her bath, she sees a thank you note from Mongji and looks out of the window for signs of him. Seeing no movements in the corridor, she becomes curious and goes to search for him at his house, but discovers that no one is at home. As she searches for him, a man walks into the house while on a phone call. The caller instructs him to search the house for evidence and destroy it. So, as he searches around and finds some evidence, drugs, and cash. As he takes the drug, 13 slips out of hiding and asks for Mongji's whereabouts, but the man responds by pulling out a dagger in an attempt to kill her. She immediately evades his strike and pins him down. She begins to question him about Haga, so he reveals that Haga is his boss. Hearing this, she tells him to take her to meet Haga since she believes that Haga must have kidnapped Mongji. On their way, the man, named Jackie, points her to a street poster and reveals that the state's running governor and his son are drug lords with connections to Haga. He also reveals that Haga has a twin sister who's part of the criminal group. When 13 asks about the police, Jackie laughs and reveals that the police are also involved in the criminal activities. They arrive at Haga's club, and Jackie takes her to meet Haga's twin sister. He lies to her that 13 is there to work as a hostess, so Haga's sister takes them into the inner room to evaluate 13. But seeing 13's serious look, she grows suspicious and asks for her name. Jackie interrupts on time and reveals that 13 is shy to talk. Haga's sister tries to probe for more, but Jackie cuts her off, claiming that he wants to speak to Haga for some information. Hearing this, the sister takes him to meet Haga while 13 is left alone in the room. While alone, she begins to look through the club's security footage and discovers that Mongji had been kidnapped by Haga's men. So, she becomes enraged and storms out to find Haga. The sister tries to stop her, but she knocks her out and confronts Haga about the little boy's whereabouts. Haga refuses to respond and tries to attack her with a syringe, causing her to enter into a fight with him. During the fight, she injects him with the syringe, but this only causes him to laugh maniacally. At this moment, Haga's sister recovers from the knockout and picks up a gun to help her brother. But 13 sees through her plan and uses Haga as a shield, causing the sister to shoot and kill her brother. The club erupts in chaos, so Haga's sister uses the opportunity to escape. As 13 tries to escape as well, the security guards show up to stop her, but she kills them all and escapes with Jackie. While driving away, Jackie yells at her for causing trouble for him. He reveals that the crime boss would assume that he's in cahoots with her since he had brought her to the club. But she ignores his plight and insists that they find Mongji. This makes him angry, so he stops the car and pulls her out, telling her to find the boy on her own. As he leaves, she advises him not to return to his house since Haga's men would be looking for him. Meanwhile, Detective Prosecco learns about Haga's death. As he looks through the security footage, he sees a photo of 13 and recalls that he had seen her at Mongji's house. He relays this information to Ariel, the vice governor's son, who's also the crime lord of their organization. Hearing this, Ariel instructs him to find Jackie in order to locate 13's whereabouts. After ending the call, Ariel faces criticism from his father, the vice governor. The man sternly criticizes him for killing Mongji's mother, who was pregnant with his child. After receiving criticism from his father, Ariel angrily goes to the house's basement where he had locked up Mongji. He spends the night torturing the little boy. Meanwhile, in Cambodia, as Umbra carries out her mission of killing her targets, a new assassin suddenly shows up and assists her in the killings. She's shocked to see him and immediately questions her handler. The handler clarifies that the assassin is there to assist her. As she bends down to inspect her dead victims, the assassin points out that the people they have been killing were their fellow assassins. As they continue deeper into the woods to find more targets, Umbra separates from the assassin to search an isolated house in the woods. There, she finds another target, and the two get into an intense fight. During the fight, Umbra recognizes the target as her fellow assassin, making her wonder why the organization had ordered their death. After several rounds of sword exchange, Umbra overpowers the assassin, and as she's about to strike her sword, the woman begins to plead for mercy, revealing that she no longer wants to be a part of the organization. She also reveals she's pregnant and begs Umbra for a chance to live with her baby.
This is America. Didn't it mean something? Anything? Please let us live.
Seeing this, Umbra succumbs and allows her to leave. But as the woman walks out of the door, the new assassin catches and kills her. Meanwhile, 13 is worried about Jekkie's safety, so she visits the phone booth to get some hidden weapons. At the same time, Jekkie is fearing for his life. That night, he returns home to change his grandmother's drip, and as he gives her a tight hug, Detective Persetio storms into his house with a group of men. Seeing this, he runs into his room to shield his grandmother from them. But Detective Persetio storms in and fires a bullet in his direction to scare him. He begins to question the frightened Jekkie about 13, and as he resolves to kill the boy, his subordinate informs him through a walkie-talkie that something's happening outside. S.O. He tells another subordinate to check out the situation, but as the man walks out, a bullet blows out his head. Outside, 13 continues to battle all of the detective's men. After killing them, she advances into the room to finish off the detective. She pins him to the floor and asks about Mongji's whereabouts, but he laughs at her for going through all the trouble just to save the little boy. As she probes him for information, Jekkie suddenly comes out from behind to hold her back, giving the detective an opportunity to escape. Seeing this, she pushes Jekkie away and begins to pursue the detective. The man escapes in a car, but she gives him a hot pursuit on a motorcycle. When he sees this, he immediately calls Ariel, the governor's son, to inform him about her. So, they both plan to lead her into a trap. As he drives into Ariel's mansion, she follows suit. But suddenly, a car rams into her from behind, causing her to fly in the air. Then, Ariel approaches her with a baseball bat and hits the helmet off her head. The detective rushes in and tries to grab the bat to also hit her, but Ariel stops him and tells him to look after her while he goes to call his father. As Ariel leaves, the detective tries to take revenge on her for the death of Haga, but she uses her last strength to bite off his ear and picks out his eyes, causing his death. Ariel hears the screams from the detective and quickly returns to restrain her. He hits her with the bat, causing her to lose consciousness. Meanwhile, Umbra is criticized by her manager for almost letting her target escape, so she responds that she had hesitated to kill the target since they were her former assassin. Hearing this, the manager warns her against having a soft heart before giving her a file containing all of 13's actions during the past days. The manager informs her that the organization is unhappy with 13's actions and plans to eradicate her, so they assign Umbra and the new assassin to kill 13 to prevent further damage. Meanwhile, 13 is trapped in an underground torture room by Ariel. He plans to join hands with Haga's sister to torture her until she dies, but his father storms into the torture room and berates his son for causing the entire mess. He also proposes that since 13 had managed to kill all their men, it means she has potential and could be useful to them in the long run. He reveals that he needs her skills to take down an Arab drug dealer in order to access $2 million, which is useful to his political campaigns. The son tries to protest against this, so the father promises to let him kill her, after they use her to kill the Arab drug lord. After coming to an agreement with his son, he walks up to her and makes a deal to release the little boy once she helps them to assassinate the Arab drug lord. That night, the governor brings Jekkie and Mongji to her, But Mongji is near death due to the bleeding from the painful torture inflicted by the governor's son. She spends the night with him, apologizing for being unable to save him on time. Early the next morning, the governor, together with his son and Haga's sister, takes 13 and Mongji to meet the Arab drug dealer. As Jackie drives the car, the governor notices the little boy's bad state, but ignores it. They eventually arrive at the Arab Mafia's lair, so the governor's son instructs 13 to aim for the Mafia's head once she gets the chance. As they step out of the car, Ariel hands over the drug bag to her and instructs her to exchange it for cash with the Mafia's men. After exchanging the drugs for the $2 million cash, Ariel secretly gives her a gun and tells her to kill the Arab Mafia with it. But as she walks over to carry out the task, Jackie notices that Mongji has died from his injuries. So he fights off the governor's men in order to alert her of the boy's death. As she pulls out her gun to kill the Arab Mafia, Jackie yells from his vehicle, revealing that Mongji is dead. This news destabilizes her, causing her to become distracted. Meanwhile, Jackie gains control of the steering wheel and drives into some of the Mafia's men. Seeing this, a shootout ensues, with the two opposing teams firing at each other. During the gunfire exchange, the Mafia's men find and kill the governor, making Ariel extremely angry. Filled with rage, he grabs a gun and begins to fire randomly at the Mafia's men. He fires an explosive that kills the Mafia and his subordinates. Meanwhile, Jackie takes advantage of the shootout to try to escape with the dead Mongji, but he's cornered by Haga's sister, who tries to shoot him. Fortunately, 13 drives into her, causing her to lie injured on the ground. With the vehicle as protection, 13 rams into all of Ariel's men, and after a prolonged fistfight with Ariel, she manages to kill him with a baseball bat. Haga's sister tries to confront her again, but Jackie runs into her with a car, killing her instantly. As Jackie drives to safety, 13 shares a last moment with Mongji in the back seat. Seeing this, Jackie asks for her name, so she tells him. As they share a smile with each other, 13 suddenly notices something amiss and yells at Jackie to stop the car, but it's too late. A car comes out of nowhere and ramps into them, causing their car to somersault. Several hours later, 13 wakes up to find herself held captive with Jackie. Her manager hits her in anger for causing trouble and for bringing attention to their secret organization by killing the governor and his son. The manager instructs Umbra to kill 13, but she hesitates after 13 calls out her name. Seeing her distracted, Jackie overpowers her and yells at 13 to escape, but the manager shoots and kills him. Using this distraction, 13 jumps out of the window to escape, but the manager sends an assassin after her. While alone with Umbra, he admonishes her for showing weakness and tasks her with killing the girl. Meanwhile, 13 runs into a nearby building, but the assassin follows her closely. He finds her hiding behind a pillar, so the two get into an intense fistfight. After receiving tons of blows from the assassin, she eventually locks in and kills him by stabbing him several times. At this moment, Umbra enters the building and fires at her, but she evades the bullets and runs to escape. But Umbra continues to chase after her while firing tons of bullets. She catches up to her, so the two get into a sword fight, severely injuring each other. After an intense fight where they stab each other, Umbra ends up winning, but at the last moment, she hesitates to kill 13. The manager walks in at this moment and points a gun at her, instructing her to finish the job. But instead of killing 13, she throws a dagger to stab the manager. In retaliation, the manager fires at her, killing her. Filled with rage, 13 picks up a gun and kills the manager. Then, she goes to check up on the dying Umbra. As she breathes her last, she reveals that 13's real name is actually Nomi. It turns out she was the assassin who killed 13's mother. After revealing this, she breathes her last and dies. 13 burns down the entire building to eradicate the bodies. Then, she buries Mongji beside his mother's grave. As she takes a rest, a group of assassins suddenly arrives to kill her. The leader of the assassins turns out to be 14, her successor in the organization. 13 gives up on fighting, and as she accepts her fate, a mysterious masked man suddenly shows up and kills the assassins. He threatens to kill 14, so she gives up on killing 13 and leaves. So, the mysterious man approaches her and reveals that tons of assassins will be coming after her. When she asks for his identity, he pulls off the mask and shows his face. He turns out to be Master Barai, the man who had mentored Umbra. He volunteers to take her under his wings for protection, so she agrees on the condition that he calls her by her real name.